They say intelligence protects people from foolish choices, but reality tells a different story. History, psychology, and everyday life reveal a hard truth: smart people are not immune to doing stupid things. In fact, sometimes intelligence makes the fall even harder. The human brain is not a single machine driven by logic alone. It is a battlefield between reason, emotion, ego, fear, and desire. Even the most intelligent minds carry ancient instincts shaped for survival, not wisdom. When emotions take control, logic often steps aside. Love, anger, jealousy, and pride can hijack decision-making in seconds, overriding years of knowledge and experience. One of the greatest traps for intelligent people is overconfidence. High intelligence often brings success, praise, and authority. Over time, this can create the illusion of invincibility. When someone believes they are smarter than others, they stop questioning themselves. They ignore warnings, dismiss advice, and assume they can outthink consequences. This false sense of superiority blinds judgment and leads to reckless decisions. Another hidden enemy is cognitive bias. Intelligent people are exceptionally good at rationalizing their mistakes. Instead of admitting error, they build sophisticated excuses. The smarter the mind, the more convincing the self-deception. Confirmation bias pushes them to seek information that supports what they already believe, while ignoring facts that challenge it. Intelligence does not eliminate bias, it often disguises it. Stress and pressure play a powerful role. High achievers often operate under constant demands, expectations, deadlines, reputations to maintain. Under stress, the brain switches from careful reasoning to fast, emotional reactions. Even brilliant individuals can make impulsive choices when exhausted, afraid of failure, or desperate to protect their image. Ego is another silent force. Intelligence can become part of identity. When self-worth is tied to being the smart one, admitting ignorance feels like weakness. This fear drives people to defend bad decisions long after they know they are wrong. Pride locks them into mistakes that could have been corrected early. Social influence also shapes behavior. Intelligent people are not isolated thinkers, they live within systems, cultures, and power structures. Groupthink can pressure even the smartest individuals to follow the crowd, remain silent, or support harmful ideas. The desire to belong or to stay relevant often outweighs logic. There is also the illusion of control. Smart people tend to believe they can manage complex situations better than others. This belief leads them to take unnecessary risks, financial, emotional, moral, assuming they can escape consequences. When reality proves otherwise, the damage is often severe. Finally, intelligence does not equal wisdom. Intelligence measures how well someone thinks, wisdom measures how well someone lives. Wisdom requires humility, emotional awareness, and the ability to learn from failure. Without these, intelligence becomes a sharp tool used without caution. Intelligent people do stupid things not because they lack knowledge, but because they are human. Their minds are powerful, but their hearts are vulnerable. And when ego, emotion, and fear take the lead, even the brightest minds can walk straight into the dark. In moments of quiet reflection, many intelligent people recognize their mistakes only after the damage is done. They replay decisions in their minds, wondering how someone so capable could have acted so blindly. The answer is rarely a lack of information. More often, it is a lack of self-awareness. Intelligence sharpens thought, but it does not automatically sharpen insight into one's own flaws. Without awareness, the mind becomes a skilled lawyer defending bad choices instead of a judge seeking truth. Modern society often worsens this problem. Intelligent individuals are rewarded for speed, confidence, and decisiveness, not for doubt or restraint. Admitting uncertainty is seen as weakness, hesitation as incompetence. In such an environment, smart people learn to act quickly, speak boldly, and trust their instincts, even when those instincts are driven by fear or ego. The system quietly teaches them to value appearing right over actually being right. Technology amplifies these tendencies. Endless information creates the illusion of understanding. A few articles, statistics, or expert opinions can make someone feel informed enough to take drastic action. Intelligent minds are especially vulnerable because they can connect dots quickly, building convincing narratives from incomplete data. Once the story feels logical, doubt disappears. The mind stops asking, "What am I missing?" and starts declaring, "I've figured it out." Power changes behavior as well. Intelligence often leads to influence, over teams, families, finances, or communities. With power comes insulation. The higher someone rises, the fewer people challenge them. Mistakes go uncorrected because subordinates fear consequences, and peers avoid conflict. Over time, intelligent people stop receiving honest feedback. Their worst ideas survive untested, slowly transforming into disasters. There is also the emotional weight of past success. When someone has been right many times before, they trust themselves more than the situation deserves. Past victories become proof of future accuracy. This mindset ignores a crucial truth: intelligence does not guarantee consistency. Each decision exists in a new context with new variables. Treating life like a math equation with predictable outcomes leads to dangerous oversimplification. Fear of loss is another powerful driver. Intelligent people often have more to lose: status, wealth, reputation, relationships. This fear pushes them to make defensive decisions, clinging to failing plans because walking away feels like admitting defeat. Psychologists call this the sunk cost fallacy, but for the intelligent, it feels deeper. Walking away challenges their identity as competent decision makers. So they double down, even when evidence screams to stop. Emotional blind spots deepen the problem. Intelligence does not guarantee emotional maturity. Some highly intelligent individuals struggle to recognize their own feelings, let alone manage them. Unacknowledged anger turns into harsh decisions. Unprocessed grief becomes self-sabotage. Hidden insecurity manifests as control or cruelty. Because these emotions operate beneath awareness, the person believes they are acting rationally when they are not. Relationships often suffer first. Intelligent people may assume others think as they do, feel as they do, or value logic over emotion. This assumption leads to miscommunication, neglect, and emotional distance. When conflicts arise, intelligence becomes a weapon, arguments sharpened, words chosen to win rather than heal. The result is isolation, which further distorts judgment by removing emotional anchors that keep behavior grounded. Cultural myths about intelligence also play a role. Society often portrays smart people as naturally wise, morally superior, or destined for success. This narrative excuses harmful behavior. When intelligent people fail, the shock is greater, and accountability softer. Mistakes are reframed as complex situations, or miscalculations, rather than poor choices. Over time, this leniency teaches that intelligence is a shield against consequences. Another overlooked factor is boredom. Highly intelligent minds crave stimulation. When life becomes predictable, they seek excitement, sometimes through risky behavior, unethical shortcuts, or destructive relationships. The thrill of breaking rules or outsmarting systems can be intoxicating. What begins as curiosity or experimentation can spiral into self-inflicted chaos. The human brain also resists admitting error because doing so is painful. Neuroscience shows that being wrong activates the same regions as physical pain. Intelligent people, whose self-image is tied to being correct, experience this pain more intensely. To avoid it, the brain rewrites reality. Facts are twisted, memories adjusted, responsibility shifted. The lie feels safer than the truth. Yet within every failure lies a moment of clarity. Some intelligent people eventually confront the pattern. They notice how often emotion masqueraded as logic, how ego silenced caution, how fear dictated action. This realization is uncomfortable, even humiliating. But it is also transformative. Intelligence finally turns inward, analyzing not the world, but the self. Growth begins when intelligence is paired with humility. Humility allows questions to survive. It creates space for doubt, feedback, and learning. It accepts that being smart does not mean being right. Emotional intelligence strengthens this balance, teaching awareness of feelings before they control behavior. Wisdom emerges not from knowing more, but from understanding limits. The smartest decisions are often the quietest ones, choosing restraint over reaction, listening over speaking, patience over pride. These choices rarely earn applause, but they prevent regret. Intelligent people who learn this lesson begin to act differently. They pause. They question their motives. They invite disagreement. They accept that mistakes are not proof of stupidity, but denial is. In the end, intelligence is a tool, not a safeguard. Used without self-awareness, it magnifies human flaws. Used with humility, it becomes a force for clarity and growth. The difference lies not in how sharp the mind is, but in how honestly it looks at itself.